Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, January the 2nd.
2023.
Happy New Year. We all hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year and all that snow that we talked about in our whip parade we had that Friday. It's all gone now. Oh, bye-bye. So, yeah, but that storm kind of was a bit of a chaos bringer because it was so cold that the ice melt couldn't work. So we ended up not being able to plan Christmas with family on Saturday. My brother wasn't able to come up with his kiddos. Wasn't able to come up. Was going to just do New Year's weekend. Then my niece broke her ankle, so they weren't going to come up at all. And then Friday morning I get a text message from my mom. Hey, your brother's coming up tonight after work. Okay! So we did end up spending New Year's weekend with my brother and his daughters.
And we also met up with family.
And we went to my one aunt's house for New Year's Eve, which was fun.
No, we did not stay until midnight.
No, we did not stay until midnight. Yeah, he wasn't feeling it. I'm like, whatever.
They're watching football!
He wasn't feeling it.
Football.
Family.
Football. Yeah, and we were there for a darn long time. And I'm sorry, I don't want to drive out of crap. It was actually very foggy going in. Not so foggy leaving, but...
It was foggier going in than it was coming home. Mom even agreed. Mom and Jason agreed that, yeah.
But I didn't want to drive that tired home. I was very tired.
Which is fine. So, I mean, it was, yeah. And it was like, what? It was like -4 the Friday before Christmas, the Friday before New Year's. It was like 64. 70-degree temperature difference. That's something. Alright. So, quick, that was really all that went on for our holiday. Why don't we shout out our commenters? We will start with the...
You do that one.
I'll do this one. Okay, well, we will start with the
last regular video.
The last regular video, the one with Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Blessed Solstice, and all that. So, Glenna, the wonderful Glenna, my lovely friend. Jeep Girl Stitches, Nadine, Nods X Stitch, I think I said that right. Nadine, yell at me if I said it wrong. Junebug, Craft Cave Dwellings, that's Angie. Hello, my friend. Pauline, Andrea, Teresa, another one from Teresa, Bridget 2, because there's 2 Bridgets, and Lynn and P.D. Stitchers Tamara. So, and most of you agreed that yes, keeping some sort of convenience type food in the house is a fabulous idea. So, why don't you shout out our commenters on
the Whip Parade?
The Whip Parade. Happy Whip Parade.
I saw how long that video was.
It was a long video. Those of you who stuck with it, thank you so much. Those of you who didn't, I understand. I have a lot of whips.
Okay, we got Glenna, Hanging by a Thread, Teresa, Tracy, Andrea, Lynn, Jeep Girl Stitches, Susie Scott.
Fantastic. Thank you all for hanging with us. Thank you for commenting on our videos. We like to shout out our commenters because we like to thank the people who engage with us on our videos. You know, I can see we got so many likes on a video, but it doesn't tell me who liked the video. So even if you just put a little like heart in a comment, or
we take constructive criticism.
We do take constructive criticism, or like just a little heart or some sort of emoji that, hey, I watched your video and I enjoyed it. It does make me feel better.
It also helps with the YouTube.
It does help with the YouTube, but honestly, it makes me feel better, and that's what I want. And also, if you are a viewer and you create Flosstube content, let me know below, because number one, I like watching people who watch me.
That sounds like it might not be a PG concept.
It sounds a little, well, you know. Considering how D&D went Thursday night. But I like watching Flosstubers who watch me, because it's a good way to share, comment, and connect. And, I mean, it gets you a shout out, I guess, if you comment. But I watch Flosstube, but, like, I don't know. I like watching people that I connect with, and I feel like I haven't been connecting with a lot of Flosstubers lately, so I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So, there you go. Alright.
Oh, and I'm not disinterested. Lunch and I had a small argument. I just realized that my face looks a little...
We went to stitching this afternoon, because he's home, because it's Monday. We did do our normal Monday stitching. There was a lot of cheese on those pizzettes today.
And I also had a milkshake. So. And my guess is everything was whole milk?
Probably.
And I think the fat content got to me.
It could be. That very well could be.
For those that don't know, I don't have a gallbladder. Yep. I had it removed years ago.
I think that was removed before we started doing Flosstube.
No, that's what I said years ago.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we are going to move on to our whips. I need to grab something out of the other room real quick while we
get monkey button time.
Whips. Hi, kitty boy. Hi, kitty boy. Alright, you're first.
I know. Give me a second. You're impatient today.
Sorry.
Ink circles, elemental dragons, fire! Yeah, I got some stitching today. I've been playing video games a lot.
He has been.
Sorry, not sorry.
He's not.
I got there. Actually, right in here, then.
Very good. And this is on.
I forget.
16 count gunmetal by the Slovak Farm.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, so if you guys remember, I was chugging along to put a dent in Merry Christmas Y'all by Diane Authors for Imaginating. My goal was to finish the boot, backstitch and everything, and I accomplished that and a wee bit more. So,
oh, come on.
I'm going to hold this up anyways. So, this is where I'm at on it. This is on a 14 count Caroline linen. Sweet Caroline.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. As you can see, I finished the boot. All of the greenery in the boot. The backstitch on all of it. With the exception of the very front of the boot. Part of the roping comes off of the boot. And as you can see here, the peppermint roping and the boot are outlined in the same color. So I just said I'll do it when I do the peppermint roping. I am now working on the letters. I did all of Mary and then put in the R because I had the C and the H. But I found when I did all of Mary, I much preferred the concept of backstitching each letter as I was going, like stitch the letter, backstitch the letter, because it's going to make the backstitch just a little bit less grindish slog.
Oh, can I say this funny thing that happened
What?
with this one? Laura asked if we should... Let me see the picture. Laura asked, should I do the letters or the rope? I'm like, the rope. No, do the letters first, because if you do the rope, the letters aren't going to fit right.
If I screw up the roping and the letters don't fit right. If I screw up the letters, I can adjust the roping.
Well, there's also the fact that halfway down the rope, you'd realize there's a problem because you have a reference point right there.
Right. So, I ultimately did 4,523 stitches on this in the month of December.
I think that's 20 times what I got done today.
Probably, but it's okay. Look at that. 'Tis beautiful. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. So then I put the last stitches on this on New Year's Eve. And for New Year's Day, I started something new. New year, new start. Right? Right. I've had this in my stash for a couple of months. And I really wanted to stitch it, so I decided to start it. And it's not going to be super complicated. It is called Farmhouse Welcome, Come As You Are by Needlebling Design. So, and if you purchase this pattern, just know that it does. I don't see it anywhere in this pattern. This windmill is from the Dollar Tree. I purchased it back in the summer, fall, when I purchased the pattern. I don't know if it's going to still be available. There's like a piece that comes down off of it that says welcome. I don't know if you're still going to find this if you purchase this in the future. So, be advised. The cover photo, the model, is stitched on a 36 linen. Y'all know I don't do linen. And to be honest, you can get a 36 even weave. So you can get a 36 and a 40 count even weave if you want it. It's all whole stitches and some back stitch. I decided to do it on an 18 Aida because it's all whole stitches and some back stitch. I mean, that's just what I went with. And that is 636 stitches. Got about half of the windmill done. This is a brown that I dyed that doesn't have a name because it was a bunch of different browns dumped together. True story. So, like I said, I went with an Aida because I was being lazy. And this is an 8th. This is like a fat 8th. It's half of a fat quarter. The other half of the fat quarter is going to go for something else that I want to start soon. That's really simple. So, it is called for to be stitched in Weeks Dye Works Kohl, but that's just 310. Let's be real.
Wait. Maybe somebody can answer this for me. When somebody calls for a silk that's basically a crayon 8-pack color, do you actually get the silk?
So first of all, Weeks Dye Works is not a silk; it's a cotton.
Okay, but still, do you get the fancy floss?
Some people do.
No, that's why I'm asking them because I figure some of them do, some of them don't. I want to know who wants to start a discussion. Okay. If I didn't think anybody did, I wouldn't ask. Because me personally, if it's in red, it's in red. If it's in black, it's in black. I don't really see the difference.
There are some fancy flosses that are kind of basic colors that do have variegation in them, and I like those. But like something
I was talking solid color, not variegation.
Yeah, Kohl is just one of those. It's a very solid, so it's 310. It's like bamboo or I can't remember the other one. They're basically white. That's what I do. Some people want to stitch them in all the fancy floss as called for, and that's okay.
And I just want to know if any of our viewers do. That's
perfectly fine.
Not saying there's a problem. I'm just curious. Because me personally, I don't give that much of a crud.
There you go. So, for those of you who might be wondering, I had finished all of the cookie cutters for Daily 30 with Strutting Tom. So none of Merry Christmas Y'all went to that. Merry Christmas Y'all went all on the December Dash. And it earned me 45 tokens. So I had 3 projects on there that I finished. And then Merry Christmas Y'all on it. So, and then Farmhouse Welcome. So this year Daily 30 is doing the monthlies a little bit different. They're doing acrostics, which is where you get a word or 2 words. Basically 10 letters. However it works out, the word or, 2 words. And you have to match your you have to tie in your project to the letter. It does make it a lot more, it makes it a lot simpler for the participants because, you can tie in a lot more, so, which is nice. And everybody loves acrostics, and they've been asking for acrostics, So January's acrostic is Winter Snow. Farmhouse Welcome, obviously the W in welcome works for winter W, and then the windmill was the snow W. So that's why I got 636 stitches, because I did it for 2 prompts. There's still 300 stitches each.
I think I might be able to do 1 prompt. One of those 10. Elemental dragons.
I think we can. I might be able to get a couple more out of it for you.
Though I think one of my favorite ones I'm not going to get anything on. Z. Zelda map.
It doesn't have to just be. So it can be the title of the project, the designer of the project, or it can be an element in the project. So I could probably figure Zelda map into a few of the letters.
W Woods is what I'm currently stitching on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually called the Woods.
There's a waterfall on it too, I think.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm literally stitching on the Lost Woods.
Yes. Okay. So, and then we will talk about the yearly and the weekly when we get into plans, and I will talk about what I am doing this year with Daily 30 as far as all of that is for the plans. I do have a bit of haul to share, so.
Okay, button monkey time.
Please.
Monkey button!
Haul, y'all!
Yeah! Oh!
So, Christmas. You have some haul sitting over on your light that you need to get that is Christmas haul.
Ew, gotta press the button, don't I? Damn it.
We're back.
Yep.
Alright, so the first thing we got each other for Christmas, his is probably going to focus better because his is bigger, is we got ourselves bands. They have little steampunk gears on them, and they're like TARDIS blue. So I got mine so I can wear it with my wedding.
Yeah, the thing is, steampunk gears look a lot like Gallifreyan.
That they do. We did a Secret Santa exchange with our one group of friends, and Audra got Joe. I had to remember. Audra had Joe, and she got him a pencil holder and
1 needle minder. Duh.
Star Wars.
And
A Star Trek needle minder. Awesome.
yes, I might actually be swapping out stuff for that. Okay, your turn.
My turn. Okay, so one thing I got was these are knitting looms to make socks. How very cool. So I can make my own socks now once I learn how to use it. And then Victoria was my Secret Santa. So that she got me that. And then she got me a lovely set of crochet hooks. There is a L, a 7mm, an M, a K, and an N. The 7mm doesn't have a letter attached to it. It came with a lovely case. Very shiny. And there were some stitch markers and some yarn needles, but they have been mixed into my other crochet accessories.
Duh.
So, that was our Christmas presents. And then,
Anybody else get anything good for Christmas?
did you guys get good stuff for Christmas? Did you get stitchy gifts for Christmas? And by stitchy, I mean cross-stitch knitting and crocheting.
Did you get crafty? I don't care if it was a fancy pair of scissors.
Did you get crafty stuff for Christmas?
And in case any of your husbands or any of the random guys sees this, yes, there is a ginormous difference between regular scissors and crafting scissors.
There is.
You use the crafting scissors, you're liable to get injured. You've been warned.
Exactly. And then Friday, the day before New Year's Eve, the yarn shop, there's a yarn shop that I very much enjoy going to that's just the next town over, so it's like 15 minutes away. They had a trunk show for a yarn dyer out of Cleveland. She had done Christmas, she had done some Christmas colors, and I had purchased one of the Christmas colors, and then there was the trunk show. We went on Friday. He actually went with me. And
I saw this color and thought it was awesome. Then I figured out what its name was.
It's called Deep Space.
Yeah, which, okay, duh. So I got a cowl in Potentia. Thank you, dear. Love you.
Yes, a cowl in Potentia, because I was like, well, would you like a scarf that you don't have to like tie or mess with? And he goes, yes, please. And I'm like, I will make you a cowl. Because,
funny story, may I?
Certainly.
She lent me her scarf because we got little.
I lent you my wrap, which is really a scarf on steroids.
Yeah, well, I still couldn't put it on properly because I don't never use a scarf. And our lovely dog, we got her new boots because she doesn't like her old ones, and it was like -2. So we tried to get these new ones, and somebody came back in the house with none of them still on her feet. And somehow managed to Houdini one of them into non-existence until the snow melted. And I was out trying to find this thing, and the scarf just kept getting undone, kept getting in my way, kept doing this, that. It was the most... I was almost as irritated with the scarf as I was not the fact I couldn't find the boot until the snow melted. So when she said scarf that you don't have to tie, I'm like, yay!
And I knew he was getting irritated with the scarf, so... And I know you don't like scarves because they never stay close. You always struggle with getting them to stay close. So, and the thing with Deep Space is it's one of our standard lines. So if that skein isn't quite enough, I can buy another skein and make them something else, or make something else with it. So then, the pre-order yarn that I got is called Clara's House. Yes, from the Nutcracker. This is from her holiday line. So the company is called Destination Yarn. She dyes out of Cleveland. She has her own website. She has a National Park series, which you can only purchase. I have to figure out how to purchase the National Park series, honestly. I'm going to ask my friend Jan, because Jan is the one who found Destination Yarns for us and purchased one of the National Park ones. But her National Park ones, it has to be something connected to the National Park that you purchase it through, is my understanding. The other thing I got from the trunk show, sorry. And I'm not going to pull these completely out because I want to keep them in here. Was some fingering weight yarns. The collection is called Lord of the Rings.
I like this lady. I really
so
like
when the
this
pandemic
lady.
hit, she's like, well, we couldn't really travel, so I had to go places that we could travel in our imaginations.
Hence deep space.
Uh-huh.
I actually look at it like, please tell me you didn't go to deep space. That would be expensive.
Well, yeah. So minus Thrill.
Minithril.
The Shire.
Fangorn Forest. Moria, Mordor.
And Mordor. It was only the first one that I was like, I don't remember how to pronounce that.
The nerd got you, girl. The nerds got you.
So, and these are a fingering weight. They're mini skeins. It's a fingering weight. So they can either be like, so this is good for like either the cuff of a sock, which I'm not going to do. Go back in the package. I am actually going to take them. I have a crochet pattern for what is called a hair scarf, what they call a hair scarf. It is basically a hair tie that ties up your hair. Like, it's literally ties.
So it's like a hair ribbon.
Yeah, it's not elastic. The elastic is destroying my hair. So I'm going to make some hair ties, hair scarves with that. I have a ball of Burnett baby yarn that's a fingering weight, which I'm going to practice on before I use the good stuff.
Anything else here?
So that is it for haul. Why don't we move on to plans and announcements?
Okay.
Plans and announcements.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look at Daily 30 yet. I've been a little too preoccupied and I haven't seen Daily. I saw the notifications. None of them said Daily 30 Stitch on it, so I just ignored it and kept going. Though I actually, when you get to the yearly, I do have plans for that though.
Okay. Well, why don't we start with the weekly now?
Oh, where was that hiding?
That went up on Friday the 30th. No, you're not.
I'm not getting the 30-day done either now.
Okay, so my plan is to focus on the yearly and the monthlies this year in Daily 30 and do the weeklies as I have time. That's just what it is. It is what it is. That being said, I have broken down the yearly and the monthly to somewhat of chunks that will work for like planning purposes. But we will start with, we'll talk about the weekly. So it is stitching resolutions for the new year because everybody always makes resolutions in January.
I can't make a joke.
What?
I have had this New Year's resolution for a very long time. My New Year's resolution is I have to be honest with myself, which prevents me from making any further resolutions.
There you go. Okay. So, lots of people make resolutions to finish whips. So the first prompt is to stitch on your whip that is closest to being finished.
I thought about that when I read that and it made me cry. Fire is the closest I have to done.
Well, that's fine.
It's not even a quarter.
Bella's probably my closest to being finished.
Okay.
Jenna Christine's Bella. Stitch on your oldest whip.
Purchase date, start time, or the first time you started it?
Start time.
But what happens if you have to reboot it? Does that change the date? Because I started Liberty Angel the longest ago.
Generally, we never kind of think about that. But I would say probably Liberty Angel, or which one's your oldest that's not need to be restarted?
Error.
Zelda map.
I've been at that for a while.
Yes. So stitch on a whip that you previously tried something new for, i.e. full coverage technique, a new kind of fabric, a new specialty stitch.
Liberty Angel.
Yes.
I tried stitching on the called fours and I thought I knew better than my wife. I'm not trying that again. I'm going to write that down there too. Because they all know who you are and know who I am. So whoever judges that's gonna laugh their arse off.
That would be funny. And then the last two are to stitch on a whip of your choice and tell us one of your resolutions or goals for stitching in 2023.
More.
He wants to stitch more.
Which isn't hard.
I want to finish. I have 3 projects that I want to finish by the end of 2023. They are Shannon Christine's Bell, Dimensions, Scenic Farm, and Merry Christmas, y'all. I think reasonably I can finish those. I have a bunch of whips that I want to make significant progress on. I talked a little bit about it in our plans video. I am not going to go over it like right now. I think as we come to them, I will talk about, I want to make significant progress on this year. So.
I just realized what my most completed whip is actually.
What?
It's Evanora.
This is true.
But I don't know if I want to sit down and bead for 2 hours.
Well, you can bead for an hour, because this is the one or two week.
But I'm greedy.
So. And then, of course, there's this. We are still doing the Sal prompt and the Daily 30, which I am going to at least try to get the Sal prompt done each week, because that gives me good motivation to work on the 2 Sals that I have, Supernaturals and Tale as Old as Time. So we talked a little bit about the January monthly. So, and there's 10. There's 10 prompts. So 10 days and that'll be done, because they're 300 stitches each, and that's about a day's worth of stitching for me. Now, let us talk about the yearly. Are you going to try to do any of the monthlies?
The monthly?
Yeah.
The weekly. I may do a couple of the weeklies. The monthly, maybe for 1 or 2. The yearlies, I actually want to do 1 or 2 prompts on the weekly, and then I also want to try to get the yearly done properly.
Okay. Well, the yearly is traveling the Olympics. So we are starting with the Olympics, the first Olympiad in Athens, Greece. And I don't remember what year it was. And we are going through all of the Olympiads. We are skipping the 3 Olympiads that were canceled because of World War I and World War II. So there was 1 that was canceled because of World War I and 2 that were canceled because of World War II. We are skipping those. But, so we are starting with Athens, Greece, and it's 200 stitches to get our games going, and then it will be 250 stitches to travel from Athens to Paris. 875 stitches to travel from Paris to St. Louis. Now, I will asterisk this with, you have your 4 whips that you declared. My 4 whips were Shannon Christine's Bell, O Feathers by Rosewood Manor, Raven Queen by Mirabilia, and A Greyhound Year by the Blue Flower. You must put in 100 stitches. You must put in at least 100 stitches on each project.
About to pause the video while you read.
No, I don't remember where she has it worded. So, you must stitch at least 100 stitches on each of your 4 whips before you check in for each gold medal. So there are 5? I don't remember exactly how many check-ins. For every 5 Olympic Games is a check-in for a gold medal. So within those 5 Olympic Games, each 4 projects must get at least 100 stitches. Now, you can do 100 stitches on 3 projects, and your 4th project, do all the rest of them. You can split your stitches as long as it's over 100. One of the sections that is over 100 stitches. There are a couple sections that are under 100 stitches. Actually, I probably think you could split your stitches for those, but that would be weird. I'm not gonna lie. So if you want to split your the first entry, if you want to do 100 stitches on one project and 100 stitches on another, you can do that as long as there's a clear start, end photo, and stitching totals for it.
Though, considering it's 250, I do 100 and 150 just to make my brain work.
Well, yeah, that's fine. To go from Paris, France to St. Louis is 875 stitches. Probably not going to want to do. I'm probably not going to want to do 800. Well, I take that back. I might want to do 875 stitches on one of my projects. Actually, I probably could do that many stitches on one of my projects.
More than one.
Yes. I divided it out because it totals like 29,000. Now I don't remember. Let me see if I can find it in here. 29,000. I gotta scroll a little bit. It is 29,280 stitches total for the year. So that actually divides down to less than 100 stitches a day to do each section.
I'm not doing it. Nope, never.
So
I don't stitch enough for the yearly.
You do not have to finish the yearly. You just do what you can. I attempted to figure out how to get it broken down for like what I need to do each week because the legs vary. It's like I can't quite break it down. On the little chart they gave us, there's quarterly check-ins, and it's like this is where you need to be by this quarter to sort of pace yourself. So I know, I'm pretty sure I'm close to having the first Olympic trials done, and then I'm going to work on the second one.
Oh, there's a really simple reason why I'm not going to do the yearly.
Why?
Stress. Even though I don't have to get it done, knowing I'm that far behind everybody, no.
That's fine. There's no, like, monthly, you have to do this much a month. It's just, this is what you have to get to by the end of the year. Here are your check-in points.
There's also the fact of, for me, it'd be a nightmare keeping track of 8 hours of stitching, considering the fact if I stitch for 2 hours stitching, my head will implode.
We'll just do it in 2-hour increments.
I know, but for me that would hurt my head.
Okay.
It's how I am, dearie.
I know, that's fine. Yeah, so, like, am I really going to want to do 875 stitches on a greyhound here? Probably not. But I definitely could get that in on No Feathers. And depending on where I'm working, well, with where I'm at on Raven Queen, I could probably do that too. Belle has been...
Do it in hours. Tell me I am lying with that project.
So the thing I don't know, because I know some of my friends stitch Pretty Ladies. I don't know if you guys do, if this is how you guys feel. When I'm working on face and hair and like arms, skin, where there's lots of shading and it's kind of confetti-ish. That tends to take me longer than if I'm working on a dress. And I know that, like, in the dresses, there's long sort of strips of the color for the shading and whatnot. So I mean, I'm pretty much down to finishing the one castle on Raven Queen. And then the very bottom of her skirting. It's very color blocky, very color chunky. Color chunky. I think that does.
That dress is chunky too.
You know, and some beading on the bottom of her skirt, but it's not as you know, her face, hair, neck. That's all done, so I don't have to worry about that. So it's easier to stitch on. I mean, that's just how I feel when I do my pretty ladies. Like, the hard part is getting through the skin. And I do my skin 2/2 because I find the shading, blending, all that tedious. So I stitch my pretty ladies. So I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but that's how I feel. So that's the plans for the week. We'll see where we get to.
And the month and the year.
And the month and the year. My focus this week is on finishing the first 2 sections of the Olympics. I have the first 2 sections of the first 2 prompts on the monthly done. I have to finish, so if I want to like stretch it out, the way the monthly breaks down, it's 2.5 per week. 1 week I'll do 2, the next week I'll do 3. And this week is the low count on the weeklies. So yeah, I'll probably do some work on them.
I'm gonna try to get Liberty Angel started.
I mean, honestly, Scenic Farm is about as close to being finished as Belle. So that would work for one of them. You know, I don't know. We'll see where we get. I really don't know what I would do for... Yes, I do.
Are we done? Or are you just gonna keep going?
Sorry. I said that. Okay, so... Give me the Denozo. What would we like people to do, darling?
Have a lovely day.
Yes, have a lovely day.
Please like, comment, subscribe, the bell notification, thingy bobby, the whole YouTube crud.
Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with us this week. We hope you enjoyed yourselves.
Bye!